guys. I mean, it was right there.
You can't just go to Incognito and be like, how to rob a place and not expect that to be saved. That's just unrealistic.
How to build thing I should not build. Okay, chat. What happened to celebrities? Why are old school celebrities dying out, or their popularity or their fame dying out? Remember, okay, when I was young, when I was a child, a wee toddler, there was magazines that you would pick up at the grocery store, and now there's no point. I don't even think I see a lot of magazines anymore. But the idea was that magazines were basically social media before social, not social media. Am I saying it wrong? I don't know. I'm overthinking it. But
yeah. Like an online presence, maybe?
Well, I'm thinking something else. But basically, your Facebook, your Twitter, everything was basically these magazines that you had to read to be up to date. And that way, if you ever hung out with someone, you'd be able to have that conversation or talk about the topic. But if you didn't read the magazine, now you're like outcasted. You're not part of the friend group kind of thing. And what I think a lot of people don't acknowledge is that while I do understand that social media is like consuming our brains and shit, I think a lot of people don't acknowledge that a lot of people were already like that when it came to magazines, because if they didn't get the issue or they didn't get to read up what was happening or they didn't get to see pop culture news, which is interesting that we used to have so many of those. It was like MTV, TMZ. TMZ was popular. Everybody and their mom watched TMZ. If you didn't watch TMZ, you were laughed at, I think. In some cases,
I was not laughed at. I didn't watch. I wasn't laughed at.
I was laughed at, and I would laugh at others.
Talking about TMZ.
You're out of date. Yeah. Did you watch this? But what's interesting is that it wasn't even the celebrity things that I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
It was more just random aspects, because I think TMZ would randomly say, hey, this happened. Kind of like a news story, but it's more outrageous or outlandish that it wouldn't make the news, but it would make a highlight for a TMZ. Such as Baker, I don't know, Baker makes raunchy donuts or some shit like that.
Is it good?
Like something stupid, right? But I just mean in the sense that a news outlet wouldn't give a shit to run that, something so ridiculous like that. But then TMZ is like, oh, badass, super cool. Yo, guess what happened in random ass city in the random ass United States? And they'd run it.
The reason they run it, you think it's just because like no one else is going to be talking about it? Especially because their whole thing is that they get the first scoop in.
Do you remember those clip montage shows?
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember what they're called, but they were ridiculous. And they would just show clips of people getting either hurt, people being hilarious, or comedy shows where they would show montages of them doing pranks on people. Those were funny too.
Oh yeah, I remember watching those growing up. They were interesting.
But they're not.
Yeah, well,
we don't have that anymore.
Going back to it, I can't even picture the stand anymore with the magazines, because I remember like if I went to an HEB or a Walmart, like a grocery store, it was always there right before the checkout.
Yeah.
I don't see that anymore. I only see more snacks, which, you know what? Go off. I'm a little hungry.
Yeah.
But I never see magazines. It's kind of like newspaper, right? Like no one really uses the newspaper magazine anymore, but it still kind of exists. We just don't really see it. Especially for us, right? Like we're usually on social media or like getting our news somewhere else, that I don't remember the last time I opened a magazine, let alone a newspaper.
I think they just failed. And the crazy aspect of the whole thing is that instead of wanting to know a celebrity now, we want to know content creators, because those are the ones that we actually feel as if we're more engaged with or more similar, thanks to the massive algorithm of YouTube, which requires you to like, subscribe, or leave a comment at this moment. It's really important for you guys to leave a comment, because it leads us to have more engagement, and it leads us to making more videos for you. if you're listening on Spotify, remember all you need to do is follow the podcast. I think so,
Yeah.
and then you're solid.
Well, also towards it, it's interesting because I guess the main difference is that celebrities don't really have that communication with their fans. Where for content creators, there's a way where they see a comment of yours, maybe they respond or they're more
Yeah,
interactive and such. But when it comes to a celebrity, it's like I love all my fans. Waves. You know? You don't That's probably a reason why.
that's what you think it. For me, what I think it is more of an algorithmic engagement where if you make a video, let's say I'm very big into economics, right? If that person makes a video on economics, that's really engaging for me. So I'm more interested in the creator's life because they match me more similar rather than a celebrity, which might make a movie or something, but they themselves are just acting or presenting themselves in the way that the role requires them to,
Right,
compared
because
to, yeah.
I was gonna say, if there's an actor, actress, maybe a director, maybe a sports player that I really like, I can only follow them so much, and there's a good chance they even do something that I'm not wanting to be a part of. For example, an actor makes a movie, it's a thriller. I don't like thrillers for the sake of the example, and I wouldn't watch it. But then I have to wait like another year or so for that to happen, like for a new content from him. While with content creators, I get to look up like something very specific, and then the next day there's also that thing again.
Yeah,
So it's kind of content based, no? Like,
it's algorithm. I think it's the algorithmic base more than specifically just content. The algorithm is just going to push things in front of you that are similar to your interest, which leads it to a cyclical thing, just goes in circles or goes in loops, right? Where I mean, they like you, right? Or you're a big fan of them because they're creating things that feel more directly aligned with you. And I say that because it is crazy that randomly people will mention someone or something that has a channel, and then I'll look it up and be so amazed that this channel has 1 million subscribers, 3 million subscribers. Never knew they existed, never knew anything about them. 10-year-old account. So there are so many bubbles now of people's what they're doing, what they're engaging with, as before that wasn't the case. Everybody would just have, you know, all the celebrities from Hollywood and that's it. But I also think it's good for people that want to be actors because now if you want to be an actor, I think they're delving more into creating content that lets them live out what they want to do. Whereas before, being an actor was just you got to go to Hollywood. You got to go to Hollywood. You got to be a waiter, and you got to hope for the best, kind of thing.
you got to be a waiter into showing your potential while you're there is a very funny combo. Um, it if you ever look back at it, like maybe 10 years ago, I felt it was so common that someone would be like, "Oh, I love this person," or "Oh, I'm such a big fan of this person."
Yeah,
I was trying to think about it in my head. I don't really know much celebrities like nowadays or like the new rising ones, right? It's always so hard for me to catch up, it feels. Someone will mention like I remember Chappelle Roan when I had first heard of her. I was like, "Oh, the music's cool." I was like, "I like this," right? And the next day, it felt like I unlocked the character or something because everyone was talking about her. They're like, "Oh yeah,
yeah.
her music's great, this and that, and she's been going on for this long." And I was just confused. Like no one was bringing it up. And I feel like that with most celebrities nowadays. Like they just kind of pop up. Well, compared to before, it wasn't that they popped up. It's like they were around, or like you
On
would
the
hear
come
the
up,
name. Yeah.
side actor, and then they become the main actor.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like now it just feels like the way you mentioned it, where how did I not know this 1 million subscriber channel existed? Funny enough, earlier I was watching this YouTube channel where they post like a bunch of like cave diving moments and situations. I got recommended this. I think it's called Deep Talks, Deep Caves.
Okay.
I think the format was similar to like a podcast. However, in that video, they were reacting to the cave incident videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
That channel had like 600K like subscribers, and especially with us when we've been trying to look at like other podcasts, I was so surprised I
Who's
didn't
your
even see
favorite
them.
creator? Who's someone that like lightens you up, or you're like, whoa, I can't believe this person's real.
Okay, easily we got Clint Stevens.
I didn't see you with a smile. I don't believe it.
Easily we got Clint Stevens. You know him, guys. All right. Cosmic, the Mario Bros runner. Those people make me happy. Every time they post a video, I'm like, I needed this. It's like card game TCGs too. Just chill.
But that's it. You just got two creators or two people that create they put their face on content, I guess.
Yeah, like so obviously besides the two, it's auto. But anytime they release the content, I'm there frame one. However, these creators don't really post too often. It makes sense with auto because she's a singer and such.
What type of videos do you watch? Like let's say podcast is over, you go home. You're looking at your dark screen. What are you playing? What are you watching? Who are you?
I don't even know, dude. Let me look up, see what shows up on my feed. Magic player rates more classic Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I think it really is TCG based right now, and
right
audios.
Now, the algorithm always changes based on whatever your interest is, right? It's really easy for it to do so.
Oh, dude, like boomers blame me for being poor. I gotta check out this channel.
Yo, that's us, dude.
There's also like League of Legends related because of Worlds and such. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I saw a video earlier today talking about like the Worlds experience of every year summarized. That was cool. Yeah. But now my whole feed is going to be about Worlds for a bit.
But it was worth it.
No. Honestly, though, anytime I want to watch a video that I don't want it clogging my algorithm, I just open it in Incognito.
Why?
Because I'm not using my account.
But okay, wait. So you don't want your algorithm to change, and you'll think a video looks engaging, so you'll click on the video, but you'll put it on an incognito tab just so you never get recommended something similar or by the same creator?
Yeah.
What are you watching? Can you tell us what propaganda you're watching for you to do such a thing?
So a common example for this, it's movies that talk about the movie in a spoiler. Let me make one up, right? We'll just call this The River, right?
Okay. And The River is a great movie, by the way. The description, great thing. I cannot believe it. It was a great movie.
The description is like, you won't survive the river.
Okay.
I don't want to see that many videos on my feed that are related to that kind of content. But at the moment, I have nothing else to watch. So what do? Incognito, watch it. If I thought it was interesting, I go back on my main account and just watch the video. I'm like, you know what? I do want to be suggested that stuff.
What if you're on your phone? I guess you can still put Incognito on your phone, right?
If I'm on my phone and I don't want to have it on my algorithm, I would have to be really interested in the video. On my phone, I bite the bullet. You could, but
bite the bullet.
I just have to bite the bullet.
I think it's funny to find out recently that Google was holding all our incognito information.
But they've always, I think people who are saying that are dumb because that's always had the description that says this isn't, like, this doesn't mean your data is not being saved. It just means like your password and account information. Like, it's like if you're entering a new browser.
There's no cookies, right? It's like saying you got on a new computer, there's no cookies, and there's no browsing history.
Yeah, right? Like, you get warned. You get you get warned on the screen.
I don't know if it's not you defending the company, but I'm just saying, Jaime, device. I mean, it was right there.
You can't just go to Incognito and be like, how to rob a place and not expect that to be saved. That's just unrealistic.
How to build thing I should not build.
Dude, what? The fact that people think you could just do that is insane, because we have people who are like, when you think about, what is it called? The dark
safety,
market?
right? Yeah.
The black market? Like the black market, they go lengths just to stay incognito. You think they just open an incognito tab and say illegal things? You think it's that easy?
Yeah.
Come on, man. If you read the sentences, it says it right there. That's what confuses me. I don't get it. Just read.
Damn. Okay, so I don't know if you had seen where before they had, not before, I'm pretty sure it's still something that they do, where if you want to not have your phone tracked or hide your information kind of thing, you can have a phone where you have to go to the calculator and then put in a specific code or thing, item or whatever, number plus or minus or whatever.
Okay.
And then it opens a completely new phone, basically. It's like unlocking your phone after you've unlocked your phone.
You got a double unlock? Oh,
yeah.
That's like a fake presence too.
It's as though it's another layer. I know you can have a hidden folder, but the hidden folder is still visible, right? So if they confiscate your phone, let's say the police confiscates your phone, they'll check that folder. But if it's under the calculator, it's a little bit because of how it's designed, it's trickier, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you know the FBI once had they had an operation where they were manufacturing these secret phones, and then they had a massive sting operation to catch all the people that were using these phones that the FBI was providing for them.
How recent was this?
It was years ago. They said they were never going to do it again because it felt very miserable for the people that were working on the back end. It felt very miserable that something would happen, right? And they had to just watch it play out, because if they did something about it, they would find out how, the only way that they would have figured that out is if they had access to our phones or whatever. But the thing is that they were selling these phones to these people that were doing incredibly shady shit. They were selling these phones with the idea that these are the most protected phones ever. So if the phone's not protected, all of a sudden it loses credibility and everybody gets off of it. So I think the operation lasted 2 years before they tried actually busted as many people as they could in one day.
That's insane. I hadn't heard about that. I will say, man, having to open your phone and like to open it again. I know iPhones have this thing, maybe Androids do too now, where you can have a setting that if they get your password wrong 10 times, your phone just deletes everything.
Okay. So this thing happened. I'm going to share screen. You got me? You got me, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
No, shit.
Okay, we're looking at card prices?
Yo, card prices. All right, chill. Bear with me. Okay. This thing happened in 2018 and it ended in 2021. The date executed, the initial device distribution was in 2018 for October 20. And then the search warrant execution was on June 2021. I heard this on a podcast, by the way. This is how many arrests were happened. It was 1,119. It happened in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, 40 tons of drugs. Australia was 104 firearms, 45 million Australian. New Zealand was 3.7 million in aspects, etc. But yeah, it was really crazy, dude. The FBI was involved, Europol was involved, the Australian Federal Police was involved. It's called the Operation Trojan Shield. That's what it was called.
That's insane. You think this was years ago, so they had to adjust. They had to adjust from this, no?
Operation resulted in an arrest of 800 suspects allegedly involved in criminal activity in 16 countries. Oh, well, they basically said they weren't going to do this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did something to that extent, or they went back and said, okay, we are another Trojan horse, but it's really tricky because once they know, oh, I don't know if I can buy these phones, they're very sus, or you lose trust and shit.
Yeah. What
What are your
if
thoughts?
I was thinking they had to move away from the calculator app if they do it again? What if you took a photo of a certain object and that unlocks your
Can't
phone?
use the calculator app again, dude. I'm pissed.
I didn't do anything, all right? Calculator app is gone. It wasn't me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never did such a thing.
And they're like, all right, just input
He's
the
so
code.
right. He's so right. He never did anything.
You ever see those videos or like those images that talk about how you're gonna get arrested for an AI video of yourself that you never did?
Dude, it is crazy how bad Sora is getting right now. The fact that content creators that do news kind of thing, were getting videos made of them was absolutely crazy to me.
Talking about Sora, I read in, I think Shonen Jump maybe, they're trying to pursue a lawsuit for Sora because they were using
dude, it is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they were using characters like from
well,
One Piece
right?
and Dragon Ball. Yeah, Ghibli, that one's pretty bad. I feel like that case must be going for a bit at least. At least?
It is ridiculous. I know a lot of anime artists are very upset about it because all of them have their own styles. So when they see animations or whatever being made with their art style, it's very easy to tell, hey, that's literally my art style. Such as Attack on Titans is very detailed in their style. Demon Slayer is very detailed in their style.
If I saw something close to JoJo's, I'd be like, okay, because I feel like that one's really unique.
Yeah, I think some art styles are very unique to themselves. Not all of them have. Well, for example, I would say Chainsaw Man is more on the closer to the generic side, but My Hero Academia has a very unique art style. I would say One Piece has a actually, I think faces are very unique in One Piece, but I don't think the art styles are unique. I think it's very anime-esque.
Yeah.
The character models for villains is very unique.
I think it's like once they reach the time skip is when it started being like more like, I guess, what we see today in terms of animation.
Yeah, right? Generic.
Yeah.
I mean, Zoro, Luffy, they're drawn very generically. So
you ever see that? It's like that PNG of just Luffy just standing still, like that's what I'm picturing right now. Super generic. It's just him on the fit.
Yeah, I have an idea of what you're saying.
That's so funny. You know what?
I think I'm thinking of Dragon Ball would be unique. I think the clothing in Dragon Ball is the most unique thing.
Yeah, the gold hair.
Could be the gold hair, but I think the clothing. I'm looking at Dragon Ball characters right now. The way the characters are designed physically is very normal, but I think the way that their clothing is designed is very unique to each character. So it's easy for you to tell what character you're looking at based on the clothing that the Dragon Ball characters wear. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Because if you put that clothing on a different character, you'd be a little confused. To some characters, not all of them, right? But
you know, the first two characters I thought of were like Gojo from JJK. I was like, you give Gojo the Goku fit? That one or that other character? I forget his name. Megu's dad?
Jujutsu Kaisen, I think has a clothing style more than a character. What do you think?
What do you mean?
Yeah, is Jujutsu Kaisen have a unique art style?
Low-key, they all got that drip on them.
It would be the clothing, right?
Yeah.
It's because, okay, so what I'm trying to say is if AI had to replicate a show, would it be indistinguishably that show because the art style would be the same, or would it be because of other features of the show? I think some art styles are very unique in the way things are shaded and the way things are done in the show,
Yeah.
such as character designs, walls, literally everything, right? So that's what I'm trying to get at. Is Jujutsu Kaisen have its own unique design that Sora would just like copy another anime more than just copy Jujutsu Kaisen?
I guess it's pretty tough because
The shading's not that unique, right?
yeah,
It's the shading when it comes to anime.
it would have to
It's the
be
hardest
like
part.
the costume design or their abilities, right?
Yeah.
Because if an ability is like 1-to-1 on a Sora video, then well, first of all, that's kind of a funny picture to imagine. I saw one of like One Punch Man when it first like came out, and they were trying to prove that they could do stuff. But One Punch Man, it was super. It even the act of just doing the punch looked really bad, and that's because he was just like it was just a punch. I don't know.
Yeah. It Dude, now that we're talking about One Punch Man, I think it's crazy. I have no interest in watching the latest season because I've already read the manga. Well, a large portion of it. I can't remember the last one I read. But I think it's very comedic that One Punch Man season 1 was probably one of the most held. Oh my goodness, this is peak, bro. Like, you should watch One Punch Man season 1. Everybody and their mom said that. To the season 2, season 3. Holy shit, what the hell are we watching? Not the same show.
I'm gonna be honest. Season 1 was pretty fire. Season 2, I was like, it was chill. I think people maybe because I heard so much like backlash for it that I thought it was gonna be awful. But season 3 so far, I think it's deserved. Like that stuff is insane. I kind of agree though too because I read the manga and I haven't had an interest in watching the third
Yeah, because the
season.
manga looked so spectacular that if someone tells you, yeah, the anime is bad, you're thinking, well, why bother? I'm good.
Yeah.
The art in One Punch Man manga is so good that a lot of people recommend so heavily that one specifically compared to others. But it's also an association to the anime being so bad that now we're recommending the manga so much more because the artist for One Punch Man manga is so good at their job.
Yeah. He wrote his story twice.
It's an incredibly well designed dude. Like, I'm looking at them. I'm gonna stream this one now.
Yeah, you're gatekeeping.
I know, my bad, bro. Let's see.
Have you seen their designs before, or you're just kind of like?
No. I've read the manga, like I said, but it's one of those things where we have to look back and say, "Holy shit, dude! I have gnats in my room, and I am beyond street." Oh, I have 2 gnats hanging out with me, bro. I'm losing my freaking mind. Okay.
Yeah, that's valid. I was gonna say the design of like this panel on the right and the one you have your mouse hovering over, that stuff's kind of crazy.
I'm losing my mind, bro. This gnat is killing me. Okay. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is 3 frames. It's not even just one. It's 3 frames. It look absolutely stunning, dude. This one is badass too. Look at the amount of detail on the water alone, right? Doing that shading is not easy. So it's really insane.
Yeah,
these are all spoilers, by the way.
And
anyone that doesn't see Reddit.
In comparison to like the first image you shared, like the way they detail like some of the threads are just so sick. Look at that. It's just for like one panel.
It's one panel, bro. The amount of detail they put in every single piece of this crazy monster is insane.
It's so good.
It is very well done.
You'll have like a joke in the series with like King, you know? They'll be like, "Oh, he did this," and it's also some of the most insane art you've seen, and it's supposed to be for like a joke character / gag.
Yeah. It just outdoes itself every time. because the further you go into the manga, the better the art gets, dude. Honestly, it's kind of crazy to think about it like that. This is probably big spoiler. This is so badass. Oh, you can't even see the quality that they put into it. Look at this. Just one frame, dude. This is one frame.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. There's so much detail being put here. And this one's also insane, but that one has a little bit of a rated PG-13. Here's one frame again.
Yeah.
And I know it's not as detailed on this one, but it is just crazy that if you were to look at this frame, you still understand everything that's going on. There are certain frames, obviously, that aren't as detailed or they don't put as much effort because the intent is motion. This is another good example, right? Where there's not as much detail, but it's intended because there's motion is supposed to be the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Crazy shit,
Dang,
dude. Every single time.
I need to go back to reading One Punch Man, man. I'm way behind.
Oh, am I spoiling?
I forgot. No, I know what happens. Or like anything you've shown hasn't been what's shown up recently.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an anime only person, pissed off at me, I'm so sorry. I should have said. But this is just peak, brother. I mean, if you're watching the show at this point, you kind of have an idea of where the show's going. Admittedly, it's kind of very straightforward. I felt that it was very straightforward. I think the actual core storyline is what's been really engaging, such as where do the villains come from or where does One Punch Man's power come from. That's the main story for me more than who's the villain, who's becoming a stronger villain, etc. Yeah. That's kind of the side quest, which is kind of crazy that's the story that is constantly reiterated to you. That's the dialogues that you're constantly seeing. But the core story is where do these villains come from and where do they where does One Punch Man's power come from? So it's kind of crazy to think about that the side story is what the dialogues generally is, but the main overall storyline is something that you're more engaged with.
It's like the main storyline kind of goes for like the world building that they do in the game in the show.
Yeah, the game.
You know why I said game? Because I was thinking earlier about yeah. Have you heard anything about that game?
No.
Very fun mechanic. It's a 3v3 fighter, right?
Oh shit.
If you have Saitama on your team, he's late to your fight. He doesn't show up.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't show up until like 60 seconds or something. But when he shows up, he just one-shots everybody.
A hero nobody knows?
Oh, is that the game?
I'm asking. I don't know.
Oh, it might be. But look, keep this in mind, right? Your next question is probably being, wait, Hypey, what happens when both teams have Saitama? He doesn't really take damage, but when you're hitting him, like his health bar decreases. But Saitama doesn't even show that he loses. He just says, I'm going to leave now. But that's the only way. If someone has Saitama on their team, the only way you can beat them is by beating the two other characters before time runs out, or by running your own Saitama and beating him there.
Hey, did you buy this game?
No. I would just watch it.
You saw the videos, you said, that's cool.
Yeah. Dude, I'm a spectator at heart. I don't know what to tell you.
You weren't too invested per se?
It's going to be really hard to... Okay, first of all, it was a fighting game that no one was playing, no one was talking about, and then you want me to learn it? And no thanks, dude.
Okay, I just saw the scene, Ray, where One Punch Man shows up super late.
Oh, for the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
you have one-taps everything if you last long enough.
Yeah, you have to stay alive until the timer runs out or something. It's pretty ridiculous. Game design at its finest, by the way. Biblically accurate Saitama.
Accurate, comedically stupid, right?
Yeah.
Does he have any does he take any damage whatsoever?
He does. He only takes damage, I think, from another Saitama, and
That's crazy.
he doesn't flinch. Like his character's just like, hey, don't do that.
He doesn't take damage. Like he does. What the hell? That is so dumb. 452,000 views. This is what the Movement Writer Dream is all about. Playing as Saitama, accidentally pressed X game.
Good game.
I
will say though, I'm a big fan of games that try to keep it accurate to their character in the story.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about the One Piece CCG is Law, for example. Every card that Law has, it's all about like using room and shambles where he moves things around. That stuff's really sick. And then obviously in this game they had Saitama, he can't lose to anybody because that's against the story. In JoJo's, I wish it was something similar, but instead we got a big old bird. No, we have a tiny bird. That's the issue. It's like he was like X tier. He just breaks the game because he just flies on the top right of the map or top left. Pet Shop. It was Pet Shop. Yeah, Pet Shop's broken. It's crazy stuff.
That's okay.
How did we get here?
I don't know. That's all I got.
I just realized the topic was
No, it's whatever we want to talk about. Chat, listen. If you had a good time, hopefully you guys had a good time. Make sure to like, subscribe, man. I was chilling, but we gotta. We're here for engagement, bro. We're here to whatever you guys want to listen to.
Those are your final thoughts?
Twitch and YouTube celebrities are going to become larger celebrities over time than Hollywood celebrities.
You don't think they already are?
No, but it's going to be tricky for. We'll see how it goes long term. It's going to be tricky for Hollywood. I think Hollywood's going to try to experiment with what the hell is going on, but they also should. Hopefully, most of them have already acknowledged it. But they acknowledge that you cannot put a YouTube celebrity into Hollywood because it does not translate 1-to-1.
They are so different. It also just feels weird. I'll never forget when IShowSpeed was in the WWE Royal Rumble at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like that was just weird. Bro got speared. It was insane. But yeah, that stuff just looks so weird to me. Like two different sides colliding. I guess that's why it also feels weird when you see someone like T-Pain on a Twitch stream. Kevin, what's his name? Kevin? LeBron James? I'm just like, what's happening here? I just remembered about LeBron James. Damn, what a goat. I needed this. Anyways, guys.
I'm done. Call it.
If you enjoyed the episode, let us know. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.